Okay. Okay, we are live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Relief Valve podcast, the Shitbag Roundup. I wasn't able to do it over the weekend because we have chickens hatching. We're doing it the old-fashioned way, letting the mamas do their thing. And it was just a very busy, very crazy weekend. Normally, I do the Shitbag Roundup either on the Saturday or more than likely the Sunday. There's been so much to talk about with the president's assassination, Kamala sneaking in the back door to now run for president of the United States. But the most recent relevant thing that's happening here is these disgusting Paris Olympics. And I want to get into some of that. I'm sure you all have been hearing the hoopla going out about it. Here's some shots here that some users put up. They were making fun of the Last Supper here. So here's all the cross-dressing trannies and whatever the hell else is in this group, and comparing those to Jesus. Here's the next picture here. Here's the blue meanie, this dummy over here. You'll notice this guy right here. Now there are children that are in this as well. This guy over here, they're claiming that it was that he had a wardrobe malfunction, but you can see his testicle coming out right here out of the side of his shorts. Now, over here in another picture that I'm going to have to find, there is a child somewhere in here. And very obviously, there are children watching all of this, either at the Olympics and at home. So it was a pretty disgusting thing. But they went out of their way. This is Macron, the leader of France, and his quote unquote wife, who Candace Owens said is actually a tranny, is a man. But Jill Biden here praising the Olympics and saying even though it mocked the Last Supper, and saying, I was thinking to myself, oh God, how are we, the USA, going to top this? This was Wake Up America. For everybody here, I finally, thanks to Elon Musk, I finally got my account back on here, Relief Valve Podcast at MattPod22511. I had to do a completely new account. You can find me on here and follow me here, and I post up, new updates and pictures from everything that's going on. I follow a host of conservative people. But what was disgusting about this was it's so many layers, because it's the push by the left to force this on everyone. I remember over June, over Pride Month, getting into an argument with some of my gay friends, who are not really friends anymore, on Facebook. And I said, one of the things I was getting frustrated about, and the reason I ended up speaking out about it, was my page was getting inundated with just LGBTQ stuff over Pride Month. I guess it was people, my assumption is it was people that were paying out of pocket to have, because I had no idea who they were and I did not follow them, but they're paying out of pocket to have all of their stuff pushed, up on everybody else's timeline. So you had to say them, and it was all anti-straight stuff, pro-LGBTQ, and just force feeding it down your throat. So I got frustrated about it, and I started speaking out about it on my own page. And of course, they got upset about that, and then we got into debate / argument about the whole thing. And I said, explain to me why Pride Month has to be 30 days, or a Black History Month. If you don't want me to focus squarely on that, why Black History Month has to be 30 days, but a Memorial Day is 1 day, a Veterans Day is 1 day, all of these to honor our soldiers. The 4th of July, an extremely important event in this country's history, 1 day, when really it should be a month-long celebration rather than just doing that for 1 day. And their answer was, well, we fought so hard to get where we are, and yada, yada, yada. And I said, why would it be unreasonable for you guys to just have a long weekend? How about a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And even an argument can be made for a Monday. You could have a 4-day weekend of Pride celebration and events. No. You're stupid for thinking this, and you're starting to sound like a racist bigot. You couldn't have a common sense conversation with them, which is why I have the hatred towards the left that I have, because they have to force their agenda onto you. It's not something that you can willingly pick up and choose on your own. And I'll explain what I mean by that and the point that I was trying to make to them. With Pride Month, it has to be 30 days and it has to be shoved down your throat for one of two reasons. You're an ally and you're a part of it and you accept it and you have to be happy about it 24/7. Or you don't like it, you want nothing to do with it, in which case you're one of the negative Nancys who they can then complain about and then turn around and say that is the reason for the importance of having the Pride Month for 30 days. And really what it is you can't walk away from the narrative. If you walk away from shoving it down everyone's throats, everyone might turn back around and go live their lives normally again. And they might not be so focused and pay so much attention to all of that hoopla going on. And then they lose their momentum of pushing this on everybody. Think about it. Go back about 10, maybe to be on the safe side, 15 years ago. Do you remember at all having a conversation at the dinner table, a conversation with your family or your children, where you were talking about trannies in your kid's school, at your job, or in general in your life? Does anyone remember having that conversation? Do you remember your kids coming home and saying, "Oh yeah, we've got a couple transgender kids in our class," 15 years ago? No, there was no normalcy to it. If your kids came home to you and they said, "Oh yeah, we've got some freako, or we got some whatever," and you're like, "Yeah, there's always one around somewhere. It's an emo kid, or maybe it's some kid who has no idea what their gender is, or maybe it's some other one that's abused or whatever's happening to them, or the criminal one, the pyro one that likes to set fires everywhere," right? But no one was having that conversation. Now jump ahead to today. How many of you have had your kids come home, your niece or nephew, if you don't have any, or whatever family member come home and go, at some point go, "Yeah, we've got a couple transgender kids in our class. Yeah, there's a couple in my class," or "We see a couple at lunch. Yeah, I've got a transgender person at work," or "Yeah, there's one at the bank, the local bank that I deal with." Now it's commonplace. I'm in a blue state, but I'm in a conservative town. And we've still got at least one transgender in each of my kids' schools. And the point is, and what they've done with the Paris Olympics as well, and what Disney's doing with pushing that, you got to have a lesbian couple and a gay couple in every one of their animated films and everything else now. And it doesn't matter how much money they're losing. And you're thinking to yourself, how can they keep going on with this? With such ridiculous of a thing. How can they keep pushing this narrative? Because the message in pushing this on to the populace is worth far more than the money they're spending and losing to push this message on to everyone. Think about the progress they've made up to this point. Like I just said, 10 to 15 years ago, your kids were not coming home and saying, "We've got a couple kind of weird transgender kids in our school." Now I guarantee any one of your family members has already come home and had that conversation. That's the progress they've made in turning these kids and turning these families left, or these left-wing families turning their kids gay, trans, which is all child abuse. But DCF's not allowed to touch them. If we didn't feed our kids or take some sort of action, they'd be kicking down our door and threatening to take them. But if I mentally abuse my kids and I tell them, "You don't have to have a gender, you can be whatever you want, it's no problem," and the government leaves me alone. Hell, I might end up with some subsidies. I might end up with some tax breaks. In California, they were giving transgenders $1,000 a month in one town. If you came out as trans, you just got almost like this disability benefit. You got $1,000. So the push is to normalize all of this. This is why you're seeing it so much, and it doesn't matter how much money they're spending. Now, fast forward to the Paris Olympics, and what I just showed you here, we have new members coming in, so I'll recap here. This is my Twitter page. You can find me on X, Relief Valve Podcast, and follow me here. Thanks to Elon, I was able to get it back and start rebuilding it. So here we go. This is one user here posting some of this, and I'm going to play the I'm going to play the opening ceremonies. I've got it somewhere here in the list, at least some of it. There's one bearded dude in a bodysuit dancing and singing as a woman. It's disgusting. So you've got the disgusting Fatso Club here doing their recreation of the Last Supper. As I pointed out, and I'll show the new members here, this guy in the little half shirt and the shorts, his testicle is sticking out in this photo. And I'm going to show you that. There are children nearby, by the way. Not only are there children nearby, there are children who are there watching the ceremonies. There's children at home watching these ceremonies with their family. It's bad enough that you've got the freak show happening here, which they're shitting on the Last Supper. Now, I walked away from my faith since my mother died of cancer. I haven't practiced anything at all. But even I know this is fucked up and this is blasphemy. Okay. So let's move. That's Macron and his I think transgender wife, as Candace Owens said, the leader of France and one of the ones that helped greenlight all of this. This is allegedly the woman in the blue. That's her in a regular day-to-day life. That's her right there with blue with the halo around her and her other cross-dressing tranny friends. Here's the child right here, by the way, okay? Behind her is the guy in black with his testicle out. I'm going to try and find the other picture here where it's this is the one where they're making fun of it, the Ace Ventura thing. Your balls are showing. All right, let me get to the part here. Stop. Okay? The girl, I don't know if she's moved to another spot or she's still there. They've come out at this point and claimed, the Olympics have claimed, this is a wardrobe malfunction. Here's a testicle hanging out of his outfit. Do you believe with all of these freakos doing this whole deal that this was an accident, or whatever came out and it was perfectly fine? Like I said, not only are there children watching this, there was one directly participating in this, okay? So here's one of Swanson throwing the blue guy in the trash. This video has been deleted. I think they've been targeting people. This is Libs of TikTok. They've been targeting people who have been taking video from the Olympics at this point. The Olympics themselves have been targeting and ordering the video from the event to be taken down because you had to watch it behind a paywall or some such ridiculous thing. So if I can't find it here, if it's all been deleted in my stuff, I will attempt to look it up in another way. This was the shooter. I have to do another show on this with new information that's coming out about the Trump shooter. This was the Secret Service on the roof searching. There's his body right there. Okay, it looks like they've deleted some of the stuff that was there and gotten rid of it. Let's go to YouTube here. All right, bear with me here a second. Opening ceremony. Let me see if this is going to show everything, because they had if anyone saw that, they had the pale horse in video, the pale horse running over the water. That was death, like the death of Christianity. In addition to all of these freakos here doing their thing, but this looks like it's highlights more than it is the whole thing. All right, let's because I don't want to see all of it. It's disgusting. But let's go over. All right, shut the fuck up. Just wait for the ad. Sorry, everyone. Bear with me 1 second here. Okay, let's rewind this here. So this is highlights from it. There's the guy with the beard dancing on this bridge or catwalk here. That was the drag show going on. There's the pale horse on the light running across the water. So, from the Bible, death coming to, kill, to destroy Christianity, destroy America. When they had the other opening, and it may show it here, it showed if anyone remembers seeing this, like a destroyed Statue of Liberty. It had dents and bullet holes in it. It was really disturbing, like, celebrating the future fall of America or something. So yeah, there's that guy with the beard, the dancer, the other cross-dressing trannies. That guy who did his bit, I'll try and play a little bit more of that video, even though I don't think you want to see it any more than I do. Okay, so let's see what they've got here with this. Okay, let's go. So he's talking about some of the stuff that was happening. Let's go back here a little bit and let me see if I can find. All right, so let's check this out here. And good for them. And that's a really good point. Notice that these fucking cowards don't shit on Islam. They go after the one that is going to write like a strongly worded letter or pull some funding or make a phone call or something, but they're not going to go cut their heads off while they walk back to their apartments. If they had done this and shit on Muhammad and shit on the Muslims, who their entire lifestyle, the alternate lifestyle that they're living, is a direct affront to the way the Islam and the teachings go. So if anything, they're going to be even way more pissed at them than the Christians would be. The Christians are trying to go softer on all this crap and trying to invite it in a little bit more instead of pushing it away like the rest of it, like we all should be, because no one wants this shit near their families. But they don't have the guts to do this against Islam, and they have a huge Islamic population in France. So instead, they go after the Christians and do this. So there you go. There were just some highlights from some of the freak show that was going on. There was a lot more with that guy singing and just the disgusting drag show going down the catwalk there. So this is why, I mean, I haven't watched the Olympics in years. And I congrats to C Spire. Shout out to them for pulling their funding from there. And a lot more people need to keep fighting back against this disgusting behavior from the radical left. It should never be normalized. It should never be brought into the mainstream. It should never be normal around all of our families. We should keep fighting that, as they're fighting to shove this down our throats, we should keep fighting in order to push this away from us and our families' lives and not allow any of this to be normalized at all. If these people want to live this way, they should do it in their own time and the privacy of their own bedrooms, not pull the rest of the world into it. It's disgusting that Paris has done this. France is a lost cause as far as I'm concerned. And they need to, instead of voting for all of this crap and supporting this behavior, they need to be getting every one of these officials completely out of office and in fighting back to take their country back. That's what we're trying to do here. And they should be doing the same there. It's just disgusting. And I hope that you all are boycotting this as well. So I just wanted to touch base on that. And this, again, this is how brazen the left is getting, that now you would think that you have these elite athletes performing in the Olympics, and that's what the focus should be on: country versus country, in the spirit of good sport, in competing in these different things. And it should just be for medals and for pride. And they manage to force their agenda into this. And what's even more amazing to me is the people like that stupid bitch that was there that was like, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was great. I'm on Newsbreak and I participate in that and commenting and talking to people on there. And there have been others on there as well going, it's just art. You guys need to calm down and blah, blah, blah. The amount of people that are like, this is not a big deal. It's fine. It was fun. And I thought it was really cool. Again, this is the agenda being pushed on everyone to the point where they're like, I thought it was colorful and interesting. It's no big deal. No one's going, that was ridiculous garbage. It was disgusting depravity. I can't believe I just saw that on TV or on any broadcast at all that I wasn't going out of my way to find. Instead, they're like, I thought it was cool. It was really interesting how they started off the Olympics. This is how you grind everyone down and you create normalcy. And then everyone's like, whatever. It was fun. Now I'm watching the Olympics. It's awesome. As far as I'm concerned, all of our athletes and any other country that athletes should have pulled out. No longer participated in this because of garbage like that. They should not associate themselves with it. Shame on them for being there and competing as if everything is perfect. Everything going on there is perfectly fine. In my opinion, they all should have packed up their crap and left and went back to their respective countries if they had any type of morality whatsoever. But they're there to compete and earn their money for their medals and get their TV time and whatever for what I imagine is a slowly dwindling watch base. Who honestly cares about the Olympics anymore? I really haven't watched them since, Michael Jordan and the Dream Team in like the 1980s or 1990. That was like 1996, 1997, the Dream Team. Which was an awesome time of normalcy for the Olympics, and we kicked ass in basketball. I really haven't watched them since because they're just more and more. As time has gone on, it's been stuff you don't really care about. They add new sports like they're playing fucking bocce ball and professional pool and who can smack each other's ass the hardest. They just keep adding more ridiculous sports that aren't sports into the Olympics, so it gets stupider. And now, to add insult to injury, you've got garbage like this from the woke Olympics. So it's just this is what the left pushes on you. So I wanted to go over that. I want to make sure I wanted to touch base and talk to everybody about what's going on at the Olympics and the disgusting depravity that's happening there. and white dudes for Kamala. Yeah, Mark Hamill's a fucking moron. These are just some of the updates coming on here. Everyone is trying to hype up Kamala so much. She went from the one that everybody hates, and I think this is a false positive that they're creating. The one with the annoying jackal laugh that everybody hates, and now the Democratic machine, which even they're a bunch of just pedophile, lying, cheating scumbags. You have to give some credit to the Democratic machine's ability to come together to just push absolute bullshit. This is the libs of TikTok, the cover of the New York Magazine, and they are just trying to hype up Kamala, the person who had an absolutely disastrous presidential run against Trump that Biden ended up winning in 2020. And she dropped out of the race before she even got any votes or anything from her home state of California, because she was probably going to lose that as well. That's how bad of a candidate she is. Now they're trying to push her as just this amazing woman who is just going to be great. She's a black leader, even though she's not black. She's Indian and Jamaican. And the machine is running full tilt to push this narrative down everyone's throat, so they'll go, "Oh, I'll vote for Kamala." I mean, her brain is oatmeal as well, like Obama, like Biden's, but at least she's not as old a fuck as him. It's ridiculous. And they had a huge power outage. There's been some kind of terrorist-like attacks in Paris as well, and where they lost power to everything but a church. That was really interesting. Biden's still trying to fuck the country up with which, this is another thing that's amazing to me. So he steps out of the race, and he says, I'm pushing for Kamala to take over, but he's not capable of running the country, but he is going to finish his term. No one's 25th amendment him. No one's getting him out of office because he's a senile idiot with oatmeal for brains. He's going to be allowed to finish his term till November, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. It's quite clear, and it's been clear for years, that he's incapable of running the country, and he's just a corpse walking around, and he should be out of office now. And they're not taking that action. So these are stupid white bitches for Kamala. It's all these dumb white women. Oh my God, whatever. Oh my God, whatever. Oh, does anyone hate anything more than white liberal leftist bitches? Is there anything worse on this planet? Oh my God, whatever. My fake niceness. You're all great. We're a bunch of dumb white bitches, and we're coming together for Kamala. We're gonna use all of our white privilege, and we're Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, don't correct anybody that is not a white person. You can't. They are automatically better and smarter than you. Don't do any of that, you dumb white cunt. Put your listening ears on. They're right here. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but my privilege is not helping me get a better price on groceries or at the gas pump for gas or my utility bills going up. My white privilege is helping with zero of those things to help me take care of my family. So these are these stupid, these are this dumb bitch here. That this leftist women absolutely piss me off to no end. Women like this here are the ones that pay, that have the other white woman or whoever come over to their house, and they pay like $2,500 a plate in order to be yelled at about their white privilege and how they can do better to not be racist. Even, well, I'm not racist. Well, even when you think you're not being racist, you're like inadvertently being racist, like on the down low, and you don't realize it. Absolute ridiculous garbage. And the problem is you have dumb bitches like this who are not only allowed to vote, but make pushes like this to go for Kamala. Oh my God, let's lose our. I hate hearing about this. Use your privilege. I haven't been able to find my privilege in quite some time. Have any of you? Let me know. I comment on the show and let me know how is a privilege working out for any of you at all. How are any minorities being disenfranchised around you at all? All the minorities I see, Black, Hispanic, anywhere else, they're getting the same opportunities as me. At my job, they're making the same amount of pay as me. They're getting the same opportunities as me, the same opportunities for time or overtime as I'm getting. I don't see anybody being left behind. This is the narrative these stupid women create to make you think that there's this disparage line where all of these other minorities are living back in the 1500s and they're being whipped on their way to work. And in the meantime, we're living in a castle and someone's rubbing our feet. And it is absolutely, it is a bullshit lie. It's absolutely ridiculous. And one more thing that we have to fight back against here is, oh, there's going to be toxicity coming from like outside. Well, yeah, no shit. You're lying to everybody. You're creating a false narrative for everyone and creating this. This is what the Democrats do. And I've had a talk again with a couple of my liberal friends. The disparity that continues to exist is created and continued to be peddled by the Democratic Party. And white leftist women like this stupid one here. The Democrats are the ones that tell blacks you're never going to succeed because the other side is never going to allow you to succeed. So come over here. We'll help you. We'll give you EBT. We'll give you. We'll find a way to lower your rent. We'll give you affirmative action, some legal racism, so you can be hired over a qualified person that's trying to get that job. The Democratic Party is the one that keeps saying you are never going to get anywhere and you're never going to make it. And us on the other side are going, you're no different than the rest of us. Just get up, strap your boots on, and go to work. None of us are trying to push you out of the way and trying to make sure that you lose money or you lose an opportunity. None of us are doing that. I've never once gone to my job or human resources or a manager and anything and said, can we go easy on hiring black people? Can we go easy on hiring Latinos? Can we try, even if I had the power to do that? I have never given that sentiment out, ever. Hire whoever it is that can handle the job, period. And it's the left and the Democrats right here when this woman is speaking. She's talking about helping these poor, disenfranchised people who are not. They're not disenfranchised. They have the same opportunities. In fact, with all of this push, they're getting more opportunities than white people do nowadays. More of them are getting accepted into college over whites and over Asians. More of them are getting the money off home ownership, whereas we're not getting that offer. We're buying a home and going through the process the old-fashioned way. The disenfranchised are getting more opportunities now in assistance than they've ever got in history. But yet, according to the Democratic Party, they're still disenfranchised. We're not doing enough, and you have to do more. So now these stupid white women have to get Kamala into office because she's a black woman who isn't black. She's Indian and Jamaican. And we have to get her into office so she can be the first black woman. And this was the same mentality that got Barack Obama into office. All of the left got fired up because he was going to be the first black man in office. It didn't matter that he was just a scumbag Chicago politician. It didn't matter that he wasn't qualified for the job. It just mattered that he was the first black man that was going to get in. And what did he do? He fucked our country up in the time that he was president for 2 terms, instead of doing anything to help the American taxpayer. Now you got the old white guy who just backed out in order to put in the black vice president, and now you're going to hear this same bullshit rhetoric about how we've got to get the disenfranchised person in and give them a chance. And Kamala gets in, and we are going to be even more fucked than Joe, because she is even less qualified, if that's at all possible, than Joe Biden and Barack Obama. The only accomplishment she's ever done to get into political office was when she laid on her back in California with Willie Mays there, the mayor of LA, or San Francisco, that made her a DA, that gave her the opportunities. And she was running against another Democrat and just barely won that election against her own party. She's a failed politician that has just tripped and convenienced her way throughout her entire political career. And now she's very conveniently gotten herself into the position of being vice president, and now potentially president of the United States, with zero ability to do everything that needs to be done with a world that's half on fire right now between China and Taiwan, Israel and Palestine, and Russia and Ukraine, and whatever else is going to break out. She's wholly unqualified. But did you hear this woman, anyone that was in this multi-chat, talk anything about competence and ability? No, it was DEI. It was diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it was, how can we get this poor disenfranchised person and just give them a free bump up to the highest point in the land. And this is the ridiculous left-wing agenda. It's not about ability. It's about how you can trip and fall and be the right nationality today to get yourself a free ride into a position that you don't deserve. So, all right, that's my show for today. Between the disgusting woke Olympics in Paris and the cackling jackal Kamala slowly crawling her way into the president's spot. If everyone could please like, share, and support the show. I'm on X as well, and rebuilding the show, reliefvalvepodcast@aol.com. It is how you can email the show, and then Relief Valve Podcast on X to find me there. The show is also on, I'm going back to YouTube again. I had gotten a warning and a strike, and I kind of stopped using YouTube, but I'm live streaming on both platforms now, Rumble and YouTube, so you can find the show there, Relief Valve Podcast on AOL. Please like, share, and support the show. Leave a comment and let me know what everyone thinks. All right, thanks, everyone, and we'll see you again soon for more news and updates, all right?